Hello guys, so this is the second part of the strategy lecture that I have promised, and I hope you all have seen the first part of Insights on Prelims that has been uploaded last week on Karma Yogi IAS channel. So if you're not done it, please go through it before watching this lecture. So in previous lecture I have noted down 6-7 questions, and in this video I'll be sharing the insights on last 4 topics, that is do's and don'ts about current affairs, about how to score high marks in prelims, and the X factor. Right, moving forward. So coming on to the do's and don'ts. First thing, while preparing, what should you do? So the first thing is you should have a strong hold on basics, which includes your NCERTs, your basic books that has been followed by many toppers, and it is mentioned in every other website that you all know. So I'm not going to repeat that, but you need to have a very strong hold on basics. You should be reading newspapers on a regular basis. It is very essential because newspaper is providing you regular inputs on the current affairs on daily basis, and you can add the case studies from the newspaper into your mains notes as well. So it is also adding value to your notes, and it is going to be very unique notes of yours if you are following this habit. Nextly, if you are making crisp notes of your class notes or whatever book you are following, then it is going to help you immensely in your future course of preparation, right? And regular revision. So if you have synopsis with you, that is the short notes, then you can regularly revise that content, and further you can trim down that content to even shorter format. If I take an example, if you are studying the river basin of Ganga, then you have to go through the various Prayags of Ganga, and you need to have the knowledge of where is that particular Prayag, how many rivers are meeting Ganga. Then there are two ways to represent it. One way is to write those points in a bullets format. The other way is you can draw a small map of Ganga river basin and then locate those points, locate those prayags and mark the rivers that are meeting the Ganga in that prayags. So there are two ways. In this way you can make your notes. Strictly follow the mock test analysis. Yes, the detailed method of mock test analysis has been there in the part 1 of this lecture. So it will take you around 6 to 7 hours to study one mock test, which will include 2 hours of solving the mock paper and then revising it and analyzing it and adding the content to your notes, right? And follow the routine and discipline. It is very basic thing, so I need not be emphasizing more upon it. Next, while solving the questions, you need to face the time crunch while solving the questions itself. So if you are solving 50 questions, then take the time limit of 30 minutes. That's it. Solve it in 30 minutes, because this will give you the practice of how to handle the stress situation during the exam time as well. Complete the question in 3 to 4 readings. Do not do it on a single go. In a first go, solve the confirmed questions, then take smart guesses, then take weak guesses, and the detailed method has been explained in the first part of this lecture, so you can please go through it as well. Follow the method explained in the first part. Solve the mocks as if your actual exam, right? So you need to have that kind of feeling, you need to generate that kind of feeling. Make your study environment as if it's an exam, it's a real exam in front of you, so that you can practice it in a better way. Analyze the mocks. This analysis part is very important to increase your knowledge base, because for example, if the question is on Western Ghats, then you need to know about the states it is covering, the climate type it has, the forest type it has, the tribes that are living in, right, the species that are living in, the flora and fauna of the Western Ghats, multiple mountain peaks available in the Western Ghats. You need to have the knowledge of that as well, right? So do a detailed analysis of a particular question and try to search some kind of extra information of that particular topic. Next, don't. So in the don't section, you need not to run behind the trivial facts that are usually seen in civil services paper in prelims. It is I think it's a futile exercise, and if you are reading newspapers continuously, then you might be getting some kind of information of those trivial facts, and they must have been added to your notes. But if not, then we cannot run behind these kind of questions. So you can leave these trivial facts as of now. Just focus upon the static and the core portion of civil services. Do not solve the question in haste. Like I said in previous slide, solve them in 3-4 iterations. Even if you are not able to solve 10 questions, sometimes it happens that continuously 10 questions we are unable to solve. We are unable to locate that confirmed option that we are going to tick in the OMR. Then also it's okay, because while reading the further questions, you will definitely get some kind of idea to solve those 10 questions that you have left behind. So come back and solve them again. Nextly, we usually face panic situation during exams. So understand that you are panicking and take deep breaths. It will just take 4 to 5 seconds, that's it, and come back to solving the paper. Do not leave a topic from the syllabus while preparation. It is very important, because civil services paper will obviously be surrounded by the topics that are mentioned in the syllabus, and UPSC will not deviate. 95% to 97% questions will be from the syllabus itself. Procrastination. So there are many students that has been approaching me and telling me to how to solve the problem of procrastination. See, I cannot suggest you any kind of solution. You need to find it by yourself. There are two kind of motivation to overcome the problem of procrastination. The one thing is, if you are not procrastinating and focusing upon your studies, then you are attaining the opportunity to get selected. And second motivation is, if you are procrastinating, then you will fail in this exam, and then you will come again the next year, right? So either way, you can choose the positive motivation or you can choose the negative motivation. Then, but again, you need to find your own way forward. Next, do not be in a hurry and try again. Do not be in a hurry. By saying that, I mean to say, do not be in a hurry to solve the questions of the paper, to read the content of the civil services. It will take some point of time, some amount of time to get completed, to make your notes. So do not be in a haste, do not be any kind of hurry, just do things continuously. Because if you are in a hurry, then it may get turned negative towards you, and UPSC will say try again next time for the another year. So yes, be mindful of this kind of thing. Do not shy away from hard work, because hard work is very essential in civil services, and nobody clears the exam with their talent. They only clear the exam with their hard work. So please keep this thing in your mind. Next, how to cover the current affairs. It is also a very common question that comes to us. So there are 3-4 directions that I am providing. Regular reading of newspaper. It will provide you the regular updates of current affairs, especially of science and tech and environment current affairs, because these are very evolving things, and you need to be updated with the current happenings. Obviously, you will get the information in current affairs magazine of in various institutes, but these magazine used to come 1 month late. So why to late your study pattern, right? You need to get the updation on a regular basis, so that while you go back to revise the current affair magazine, you see things twice, because once you have done it in newspaper as well. So take current affair magazine and make a note of it, so that you can revise it, you can memorize it, and keep on revising these things. So towards the end, for example, this year's prelims is on the last week of May. So you can take April and May, or even March itself, completely dedicated towards prelims preparation, and you should follow two current affairs magazines, compilation from two different institutes, so that the coverage of current affairs is adequate enough to gain a particular knowledge base to attempt the exam, right? But this thing will get easier if you have done this part, the note making of the current affair magazine that you are reading today. And completely remembering current affairs is next to impossible. I personally do not feel that you can remember each and every current affairs, but yes, you should have a certain kind of understanding. You should remember the context and the keyword of the current affairs. So this can be done by continuous revision and regular understanding. Try to be innovative while making your notes. Innovation will act as a boost for your preparation and your revision, because if you are adding pictures, if you are making diagrams, if you are drawing maps, then things will register in your mind in a very easy manner. So you will definitely get benefited with it. Now the million dollar question: how can you score around 70-71% or even beyond? So there is, I personally think there is no rocket science in this. You should have to have faith in yourself and the knowledge and your logics. So this thing will not develop overnight. It will take around 7 to 8 months to develop that kind of knowledge, that kind of faith and logic while solving the questions, to eliminate the options. So you need to develop the techniques of elimination, and it is always better if you have your own technique, right? Do not just follow the technique of any coaching institute or any topper. You need to imbibe that technique, improvise upon that technique, and follow your own pattern of study and eliminating the wrong options. And next, to improve your accuracy, yes, you need to improve your accuracy to score high, because in my time I have attempted 95 questions when I got 142 marks, and in those 95 questions I have got 77 correct and 18 were wrong. So this was the kind of efficiency I had. So, and I always credit this level of efficiency to this method, CSW method, that has been described in the previous lecture, the part 1 of this session, right? So if you have not seen that, then go back and watch it again. If possible, increase your attempts, number of attempts in the exam, number of questions you are attempting, if possible. The primary focus should be on the accuracy, and then if possible you can go on increasing the attempts. So it will definitely increase your marks. And then reduction of silly mistakes. It will always catapult your score to 8 to 10 marks. So people who are missing the cutoff by 5-6 marks or 7 marks, they can resolve it by not making these silly mistakes, right? Now the last question: what is the X factor for the consistent performance in prelims? So I personally think you need to have a positive temperament in the exam hall. That's very important, because those 2 hours matters a lot. Whatever you have done in the past 1 year will not matter, but those 2 hours are very, very important. I cannot emphasize more on that. So be positive in the exam hall and make yourself feel proactively that you are going to clear this prelims. And this kind of feeling will only come when you have practiced the mock papers, analyzed the mock papers, and memorize the content that you have gained from the mock papers. So it's a very tedious exercise, but you got to do this. I think there is no other way out. Follow the mind of the examiner, right? I think this kind of thing you will get after 4 or 5 months, after developing a good knowledge base, and then you can move on to studying the mind of the examiner and how they are setting the options. Now I personally feel longer the question, easier to solve it, right? So if the question is very long, then there is always an opportunity to find a clue and to eliminate multiple options. So even this thing you will get after a certain level of preparation. These things cannot be explained in this video at this point of time, but if you perform the practice like I have mentioned in previous slides, then after 4 to 5 months you will be able to crack this thing as well. Now the gut feelings and the instincts will never lie. You are developing the gut feeling and instincts by the kind of and the level of preparation and the hard work you are putting it today, right? So on the exam day, always believe your gut feelings, and for developing them you need to have rigorous prelims preparation, and just believe in yourself. Some factors are always out of your control, because some questions you will mark like a weak guess, and they may get correct or they may get incorrect. So there is some kind of luck involved in as well, but we'll talk it in very last. We'll take it in a very last sense, right? You need to be very thorough with the studies. You need to have basics in your tips. You need to have very important facts on your tips. Then only you can talk about the luck. But yes, it plays a very important role in the exam. I cannot deny that. Lastly, it is very important to impart each and every technique that I personally have developed. So I try to impart the core of the technique that I followed while solving the mock papers, and how to analyze them and how to improvise them in the exam. But always it's very difficult to convey everything in a short video, so I'm just providing you the glimpse of it. And continuous guidance in prelims as well as mains becomes very essential, quintessential, right? So regular monitoring and nudge will work wonders for your preparation. So if you are satisfied with it, then you can join the Prayaas initiative that has been put forward by Karma Yogi IAS, and it is an initiative for prelims 2023, and the details are there in the description box. So you can go through it, you can study it, and you can join that group as well to get regular guidance on a regular basis, right? So yes, that's all from me, and I hope we all will meet in Prayaas initiative. Thank you. In the first part of this lecture, so you can please go through it as well. Follow the method explained in the first part. Solve the mocks as if you're